Greetings, President Donald Trump. I am the grandson of a sharecropper here in South Georgia, George Boston Rhines. I have two questions for you, Mr. President. Very briefly, why are you speaking about building a wall? Have you considered, Mr. Honorable President, to sign an executive order stating that business owners and farmers who hire illegal or undocumented immigrants will lose their business, will lose their acreage or their farms for hiring undocumented immigrants? Mr. President, my second question concerning ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and other terrorists on the planet Earth. Why not call for all terrorist leaders to come to an established location to sit down behind a curtain with their identities concealed if they so desire, and let them tell the world why they are terrorists. In other words, let them state, give them a platform in front of the news cameras worldwide to tell the world what the United States and other nations of the world has done to them to cause them to hate to the degree that they are willing to strap bombs around themselves, around their children, and to project coming generations to do likewise. Short form, Mr. President, ask the terrorists to sit down with cameras rolling and state on record why they are willing to die for a cause that nobody else on the planet seems to understand. Now, Mr. President, once this forum takes place, and once the terrorists finish their remarks, we want to hear from the other nations of the world rebuttal to their grievance. Then give them a space to respond to these nations without interruptions, without anybody from the news media interrupting them. And you, Mr. President, would be a high-esteemed human being. For how could it be that nobody could think of something as simple as, number one, holding the businesses and the farmers accountable for hiring illegal, undocumented workers to the degree that you really don't have to build a wall anymore. You can save all of that money, Mr. President. People in 2017 not understanding why the terrorists want to kill themselves and destroy their country, their infrastructure, without the world understanding why they are doing it. Mr. President, this is my request to you. And I understand why this video will not go viral, because it's not intended to go viral. It's just to show that the news media, the politicians in the United States Senate and House does not ask the right questions. Mr. President, have any House of Representatives asked you, or any senator ask you, have any governor ask you, have any county commissioner ask you, have any mayor of any city in America ask you this question in closing? Why don't you sign an executive order to have business owners and farmers go to jail? Why don't you have them to just simply go to jail if they fail to obey the law or your executive order, Mr. President? These same individuals, Mr. President, have they ever asked you, in trying to put a stop to terrorists, to call the terrorists in before CNN, before MSNBC, before ABC, CBS, and the television station of the world, the BBC? Let them sit on a platform conceal their identity if they so request, and let us hear why they hate us so much. Don't allow news hosts to tell us what the terrorists think and why they are doing what they are doing. Let them speak for themselves. Let them tell us, earthlings. Let the terrorists, for once, Mr. President, tell the world, expose why they are willing to die and blow up foreign buildings and airplanes and infiltrate our security. And got us all living in fear. Mr. President, now if you think this is of value, then why not go before the Congress and be seen around the world as a real human being? For we want an end to the bloodshed. We want an end to the terrorist activities. We want an end to the Palestinians being treated as subhuman. We want an end to African nations being robbed of their gold, their diamond, their cobalt, their titanium, etc., etc., and even their own historic, rich, and powerful record. So, Mr. President, once again, I'm George Boston Rhines, down here in the backwoods of South Georgia, asking a question that I'm surprised that my beautiful brother, Victor Blackwell, or 60 Minutes, or my beautiful Reverend Al Sharpton, or Jesse Jackson, and many of the heavyweights, I'm surprised they haven't thought of these two simple questions. Why are the terrorists mad at us? And number two, why cannot we punish those by your executive order who hire illegal aliens? Because we know they are here to pick olives, to pick tomatoes, to cut greens, to cut peppers and okras like black folk used to do. We know that. So, Mr. President, will you please answer these questions beneath this video? I'm waiting, Mr. President Donald Trump. You can call me in. I'm going to put my email address in this video, bostongBr@gmail.com. bostongBr@gmail.com. And while you're at it, Mr. President, you talk about voting problems and how dead people vote, etc., etc. Google Boston G.B.R. on YouTube. Google George Boston Rhines and see how white people have suppressed, intimidated, attacked, and removed black mayors from office without being found guilty of any charge, simply because they do not want blacks in positions of power. Now, that part I didn't plan to be on this video, so I'm going to end that. But for you who want to know about real voting rights problems, Google Georgia newly elected black officials mistreatment and being ignored by all the news media networks, including the Atlanta and Journal-Constitution, WSB out of Atlanta, all the news media, all of them, without exception, have refused to connect the dots about all of the voting irregularities in the state of Georgia. They won't even report it. They won't report it. Now, check me out and see if I'm lying. Start out with Googling the Quitman 10+2 in Quitman, Georgia, in the county of Brooks, in the state of Georgia. 12 outstanding, honorable black people was mistreated so bad until, Mr. President, if you really want, Mr. President Trump, Donald, if you really want to shine the light on voting irregularities, call me. Call me, Mr. President, and let me present the facts of all of these suffering black elected officials that even the civil rights organizations have turned thumbs down on. Excuse me for raising my voice, Mr. President. Mr. President, I want to say to you, I served this country. Mr. President, I served this nation for over 21 years. And today, Mr. President, I am under a 3-year, 7-month criminal trespass for not violating any law in Valdosta, Lowndes County, the state of Georgia, or in the United States of America in God's world. And nobody, Mr. President, will remove me from this criminal trespass. Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr. President Trump, this was after the death of Kendrick Johnson at Lowndes County High School that was found dead in a mat. Mr. President, Google also the death of Kendrick Johnson here in Valdosta, Georgia. Please, Mr. President, see what your fellow Americans have been going through, even 8 years under the Honorable President Barack Hussein Obama. Mr. President, you have a nice day, and in your spare time read St. John 8:32 and St. Luke 4:18. Have a nice day, and if nobody ever asked these questions before, Mr. President, just maybe God called me out from the mountain of men to ask you these questions, and I'm going to see if anybody in your administration will do what Attorney General Eric Holder refused to do. I want to see, Mr. President, if you will respond when Attorney General Loretta Lynch would not respond. To all of these, and these are Democrats, Mr. President. The Democratic Party turned their backs on these people in 18 cities concerning voter fraud and removing blacks from office, Mr. President. So you have a golden opportunity, Mr. President. Mr. President, you have a golden opportunity to do what the Democrats, yes, the Democratic Party in the state of Georgia, where DuBose Porter is the chair, you have a golden opportunity to do something for black Americans that have fought in every war of this nation. Mr. President, again, love you, brother. Keep doing what you're doing as long as it's right. And in the final analysis, I want you, Mr. President, to understand, if I may humbly say this to you, regardless of what happens in this nation, truth, right, and justice will win in the end. Peace be unto you. Today, January 25th, 2017, 11 o'clock a.m. God bless you, and may heaven smile upon you. This is the Get To Free Press, and I'm George Foster Rines. We report what others ignore.